Hi there. Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It's Gina time. Well, Gina testimony time to be exact. We've got some nasty business to sort through, and we're probably not gonna like what happens to us by the end of it. But sometimes, truth hurts. I mean, it hurts, and it can even hurt us sometimes. Now, I did technically press this first statement, but I only wanted to point out the fucking fact they were chattering amongst themselves. Graydon and Gregson, I mean, so...
Hold it!
We'll press it proper to see what she has to say for the rest of her statement. And you were hiding in the cabin at the time as well, weren't you, Mr. Strahd? And I'm never going to keep a consistent pronunciation if it's Lestrade or Lestrade. Like, I don't know what the correct pronunciation is, and I just kind of flip-flop, it seems. If I remember rightly, in the storage compartment underneath one of the seats. You guys... Okay. You guys good? You better be. Anyway. Yeah, that's right. It's pitch black under there, so you can't see nothing at all. Now, in your testimony 2 months ago, I feel certain that you claimed Mr. McGilded was a sole passenger, did you not? False testimony, my lord. That's what he told me I had to say. But it's important that you tell us the truth now. Were Mr. McGilded and the victim acquaintances? I don't know. But I did hear him talking a lot. What were they talking about? Well, I couldn't hear too well. What if I had to say? I think it was about money or something. They kept talking about buying and not buying. Perhaps business dealings of some kind. Oh yeah, the classic business dealings between, what was that guy? He was a hat maker? No, he wasn't a hat maker. That was Lady First. Yeah, the fucking common business negotiations between a millionaire philanthropist and a brick maker. Maybe they were negotiating over bricks. Who knows? Well, anyway, it got louder and louder. It started to sound like a proper fight. I was pretty scared by then. I hardly dared to breathe. And then, all of a sudden, I heard a noise, like someone keeling over on the floor. It was blooming loud and all. And I believe you let out an involuntary scream. Yeah, that part was true. That's what gave me away. When the Irishman dragged me out from under the seat, I saw that disc on the floor.
Hold it!
Was it the disc you saw, this disc? Yeah, I reckon it probably was. Yeah, probably. Then again, I mean, could you really identify as a specific disc? I mean, I assume they all have unique unique bumps on their fronts. So, I'm curious if you could identify it. It was right next to the cove, lying on the floor. Could this disc belong to the victim, perhaps? I don't know. But McGilded picked it up pretty smartish. And then he sat the cove with a knife in his belly up on the seat. What did he say to you at that time? He told me not to say a word about what I'd seen to no one. About the disc and all. Oh, I was dead scared. The way he was looking at me, I thought, if I didn't go along with it, I'd get stuck with that knife too. Then he started asking me a load of questions. Like what my name was and where I lived and that. He asked me about being a diver too. But after a while, what had happened in the carriage was noticed. Yeah, that's right. first there was a kind of rapping noise. You know, it was like hip hop, hip to the hippity hip hop, and stop it to the bang of the boogity beat. You know.
Hold it!
There were two gentlemen occupying the seats on the roof deck, I believe. Bruce Fairplay and Lady... Sorry, okay, again. I keep harping this point, but are you really gonna tell me that Lady Verst is like is an obviously real name, while Eggert Benedict is obviously fake name? Like, come the fuck on, man. That's Roy. Yeah, those two jabronis. Amos looked down through the skylight and noticed a cove with a knife in his guts. When I screamed, the driver pulled up the horses and McGilda got me out of sight. Sight. Out of sight? Where? Back under the seat where I started off. Once the carriage came to an halt, the two coves from the roof ran off to fetch slops. They immediately left to fetch the police. It would appear they were entirely unrelated to the incident. Sad left McGilded, the driver, and you still at the scene. Yeah, only the driver didn't know I was there, because I was under the seat. I heard the cabin door open, and a voice from outside. The driver, yes. He also testified in the trial. The driver, yes. He also testified in the trial, I believe. Oh yeah, our boy Beppo. Beppo! A fellow who went by the name of Beppo, if memory serves. He's a cold boy. What did McGilded and the driver say to each other? I don't know what happened and stuff like that mainly. That's when McGilded slipped the driver's intent to do a run to the pawn shop roundabout. Okay, tell me about that. That pawn shop obviously being Windibank's on Baker Street. Jesus, fucking Windibank's the only fucking pawnbrokery in London? All business seems to run to and through there. Why, what's the moment, Counsel? Do you mean to tell me that the driver gave false testimony in that trial as well? Perhaps the excursion to the pawnbrokery slipped his mind when he was in the stand. Indeed, Lord Van Sykes. McGilded took off his coat and gave it to the driver. He folded it up all careful-like before handing it over. When I saw him do that, I remember thinking, that coat and what's in it ought to be worth a few bob. Yeah, Bob's your uncle and all that. Yes, Gina was sure the disc must be worth more than Mr. Windibank was suggesting, wasn't she? Yeah, I wonder why Gina thought it was worth so much money, though. I mean, it's just a music box disc. I remember her quibbling with him over the price that afternoon at the pawnbrokery. The driver looked pretty happy when McGilded flashed some brass in his face. He went running off at a lick. I mean, if someone wanted to pay me like $100, or I don't know, I forgot how much it was. Was it like 10 guinea, 15, 100? I don't know. It was a decent amount of guineas, and like all they wanted me to do was go pawn off a coat. Like, fuck yeah, I do that, man. Come on. I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Hey, then the bog trotter called to me and told me to come out from the drag's cabin. Again, fucking Gina, you can stop with the racial slurs. Apparently, bog trotter is pretty offensive to Irish people, so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if he was saying that in 2021, Gina would be getting canceled, so, you know. He threatened me not to snitch, not to say nothing to no one about what I'd seen or heard.
Hold it!
And you know what they say, snitches get stitches. Threatened you how, exactly? Told me I'd only be able to scarf her if I did exactly what he said. Which included giving false testimony in court 2 months ago? Yeah, that's it. And, there was one other thing he said. Which was... He told me I'd have to hang on the ticket for the pawn shop, and make sure not to lose it. The ticket? Well, I never. Said that if he didn't show up to get the ticket off me before 2 months passed, I had to go to the pawn shop and pay the money to keep it in lug, to stop it being forfeited. and he left me with some brats to pay for it. Oh, but really? Why on earth would Mr. McGillis have done such a thing? Depositing his overcoat with the pawnbroker before the arrival of the police. It makes no sense at all. There would seem to be only one logical explanation, my lord. What McGilden had the driver deposit at Windibanks was something he didn't want the police to see. Something very important that he needed to hide at all costs. Yeah, clearly it was his fire-ass mixtape. Anyway, after that, he let me go. So, I left it before the coppers showed up. I mean, yeah, that all seems, on the level. No lies detected. Thank you, Mr. Strayed. Thank you, counsel. I've had enough. I believe we now have a reasonable understanding of what actually transpired on the omnibus. It would appear on that night 2 months ago, a negotiation was taking place on the omnibus. A negotiation concerning this disc. However, matters did not run smoothly. When the parties involved began to quarrel over price, McGilden took what he wanted by force, at the expense of the other man's life. Which proves my point, that this is clearly extremely valuable in some way. Although I don't understand why as of yet. And 2 days ago, precisely 2 months after the omnibus incident, McGilden's coats and its contents were due to be forfeited. I didn't know what I should do with the ticket. I mean, the coat died right after his trial. I knew that. So you decided you would try to claim the articles as your own. Well, why not, eh? They were going to be forfeited. Why shouldn't I have got them? Anyway, you can't blame me for thinking about it. Thinking ain't no crime. Yeah, true, it's not a crime to think. Mr. Strayed, it would appear Mr. McGilden was prepared to kill in order to take possession of this desk. Do you know why that would be? Like I said, obviously, he didn't want the cops to see his bomb-ass mixtape before he was ready to release it to the public. Obviously. I ain't got a clue. I ain't got a clue. But I reckon it must be worth a fair bit of brass. He was probably gonna sell it. And you can't blame me for taking that. Thinking ain't no crime. I mean, yeah, that's true. You can't. It's not a crime to think. My lord. Who was that? Oh. The evidence your lordship requested has been located and is ready for the court inspection. Sir. Bum, 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 bum. Uh-oh. Time to see what's in this, box that was such a big deal. A mysterious little box deposited by McGilden 2 months ago, which by the way was 2 days before the omnibus incident. So I'm curious what that's about, because the box is separate from the overcoat that was pawned. There's no doubt in my mind that it's the key piece in this far-reaching puzzle. So, to be continued? Okay, look at that, to be continued. Heck, I probably could have, gone on a bit longer. I mean, I probably could have well, again. You know how it is, right? You can't always end off at, like, the most convenient of points. But I could have last time if I just gone a little bit farther. But also, man, geez, Trial Part 4. Like I said, these Crazy Eight Attorney games, they don't believe in fucking 2-day trials, do they? It's like, you know, we're figuring this shit out all in one day. One way or the other. Yep. That's a box, alright. So this is the article in question, is it? The small box deposited with a pawnbroker by Mr. McGilden 2 months ago. And, on the night of Mr. Windibank's murder, the only item on the shelves that was touched by whoever broke into the shop. Quick! Quick! Let's open it and see what's inside! Maybe a little chocolate. The fuck is that? Good gracious! This is no ordinary box, it seems. What is that, like a telegram thing? I don't know what the fuck that is. It looks like some kind of machine, but I don't know. Wow! Although in truth, I had an inkling that might be the case. It would appear that the box houses a miniature music box movement. Oh, it's a music box machine. Or it plays music box discs, I guess. Then, is it too much to expect? I think it would be reasonable to assume that it is a device for the playback of this disc, my lord. Well, hey, look at that. That's pretty convenient. Because after all, we were trying to figure out what music box would fit on this McGilded's disc. So it looks like we have our answer. So here we have the means to play back Mr. McGilded's disc, deposited at Windibanks at much the same time. Oh. That's strictly correct, my lord. It was not McGilded's disc. It was a disc of his victim in the omnibus. But why, for heaven's sake? Are we to understand the brickmaker was trying to sell this music box disc to Mr. McGilded? Why would a brickmaker have a music box disc? It's what do we want to sell it to McGilded? What's that about? Hi, I have a question. More of a comment, really. I believe the answer will become clear if we listen to the music on the disc, my lord. Ah, yes. Very well. Let the court now listen to this curious disc at last. Dude, imagine if it plays fucking Never Gonna Give You Up.
Hold it!
Who the fuck was that? Oh, hi Gregson. You got something to say? Wait, my lord. Good grief! What is the meaning of this, Inspector? The music box and the disc are, unrelated to the case. No need to spoil the atmosphere, to somber atmosphere in the courtroom with some silly bit of music. Bro, Gregson, what the fuck? Man, this disc may have very well motivated the culprit in this case to commit murder. Clearly, there's every chance that it's fundamentally important to understanding what happened. The prosecution has no objection. But no! That piece of evidence is police property. Clearly, Scotland Yard has some vested interest here. But it is a policy of this prosecutor to leave no avenues unexplored. And you, Inspector, have no jurisdiction here to prevent that from happening. Gah! No further delays, please. Play the disc. I mean, it's definitely a music box, I guess. It's not very melodic for a music box. What? What on earth? That's certainly not what I would call music. I mean, yeah, it's not. Again, it's not very melodic, is it? No. No, not at all. It's just the same note playing over and over again in an irregular sequence. Oh, well, okay, I guess fucking Ashley Greydon is enjoying it. Yeah, what's so funny, my dude? Ha! This really is priceless. Okay, dude, I know it's good. It's a good tune. Okay, again, I don't think that tune was that good enough to you had to do a little dance for it. Okay. After all that, the music box is broken. Broken? It can't be, can it? Well, obviously. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if the officer sent to fetch it didn't drop it on the way back to the courtroom. Well, with much regret. I think the court must accept that this music box offers little in the way of clues. Are you ready to move on, counsel? Come on, man. Yes, alright, it does sound as though it's completely broken, but is it? Could this music emanating from the music box possibly be a new clue? I mean, it better be, or else we ain't got much of a fucking case, now do we, pal? Then again, you know what, fuck it, let's see. You know what, nah, fuck it. It's bullshit, fuck it, man. I agree that it doesn't appear to be relevant, my lord. What prompted that triumphant wiggle? Nothing in particular. Really? It was because that music is in fact a very significant clue. Okay, sorry, I like to see the fuck-ups, man. What can I say? You never learn, do you? When you speak, you must mean what you say, and say what you mean, by all means. Or be prepared to suffer the consequences. I want to understand that you do indeed consider this repetitive monotone to be relevant somehow. Yeah, totally, man. It's abomination, counsel! A mere noise. I fail to see how it could have any meaning whatsoever. Okay, clearly you never heard of noise music, my dude. It does sound strange, I agree. But there's one thing bothering me. While Greydon stands there chortling victoriously, the inspector beside him has a rather telling expression on his face. It's as if Gregson recognizes the sound, as if he's familiar with it somehow. And that's making him appear extremely on Edgeworth. Oh, sorry, that's Edgeworth. If that's the stance of the defense, my Nipponese friend, answer me this. Oh! Do 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 do. Just what relevance do you propose this woeful chiming has on this case? It's the defense's belief that the sound emanating from this music box is, again, it's just noise music. Come on, guys, we're experimenting with sound. You know, it's about exploring the acoustics of the room. You know, maybe if you listen to one ear, it sounds like one song. You listen to the other ear, it sounds like a different song. Clearly, you simple-minded fools are just not highbrow enough to enjoy such experimental and avant-garde music. Obviously. could be an unusual genre of music that none of us are familiar with. Okay, you can say something, Van Sykes. Counsel, would you care to elaborate on that remark? Well, it could be a new style of music that's about to take the world by storm, for example. You know, like dubstep or what have you. Or EDM. I think not, Counsel. Such monotonous nonsense could be pleasing to no one's ears, surely. Well said, my lord. And here's to my learned friend seeing that remark's true meaning. Narg! Akuga. The music has to be relative somehow, which might actually be the point. Yada yada, okay, fine. Let's see if you grasp the question better next time around. Okay, yeah. Da 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 da. Do 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 do. Okay, well, okay, it's not broken, and it's not just a cutting-edge, avant-garde noise music. Well, then maybe it's really not supposed to be music at all. Let's try that one out. Just because this is a music box, it doesn't necessarily mean the sounds we're hearing are music. Gah. Look at that! The smile vanished from Greydon's lip as soon as I said it. I'm on the right lines here. I must be. Making deductions based on how people react to what you say. You're acting just like Harry, Runo.
Objection!
Don't fucking compare him to Herlock Sholmes, goddammit you. The sounds we're hearing aren't necessarily music. Well, now that you've told us what they are not. I'm sure the court would like to hear what they are. Do enlighten us, my Nipponese friend. Well, surely you have an idea in mind. Because if not, it will be the death of your ill-formed argument. Exactly. The music box is clearly broken. Refusing to accept that fact is pure foolishness. They've got me. I don't know what the answer is, yet. Bruno, why are you looking at fucking out in the distance like a fucking dimwit? That expression is strange. I've just examined the music box very thoroughly, and I'm fairly certain that it's not broken at all. Really? Really? The way it's been made, it can only produce a single note anyway. Thank you, Iris. Alright, well, the music box isn't broken. It must mean that the sounds it's producing have some significance that isn't musical. Do 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 do. Oh, what? Ah! Could it be? Is that what these sounds are? Something just struck me, Runo. I feel like recently, in the past few hours even, I've heard another sound very much like the one this music box makes. Yes, it's a familiar sound. Actually, Iris, I was just thinking exactly the same thing. I'm going to have to press the defense for an answer. If your assertion is that the sound produced by this music box is not, in fact, music at all, then what the devil is it, Counsel? All the evidence we've seen so far, all the testimony we've heard, it's all pointing to one single answer now. And I think I have an idea as well. The prosecution demands that my learned Nipponese friend presents proof now. Tangible proof of this latest wild speculation. I don't necessarily have proof of it, though. Alright, then. This could be the best chance I'm going to get to fight back in this trial. And if I'm right, it's going to join all the dots together. The evidence that explains the true nature of the sounds on this music box disc is... The music box disc itself. No, that's not it. Okay, well, see, I'm thinking about what we've seen so far and what we know. The repetitive nature of it, right? It seems like someone sending it seems similar to the telegram sound that the telegram lady is doing when she's doing her telegram thing, right? The you know that. So if that's what's on the music box disc, I feel like it might be. Well, let me review this again, just to just double check. There's a sensational story loaded on the front page as well. Look, Ministry Mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice. For 10-year-olds, Iris certainly has her finger on the pulse of world news. It's about secret communications between Great Britain and its allies. Apparently they're being intercepted by hostile nations. Communications are being intercepted. But how would somebody be doing that? No, of course not. I wonder... Perhaps this is what Lord Sprockheart was talking about yesterday. Yeah, so... Again, we saw, or we know that the lady works as a communications officer for the government, and then Ashley Graydon also works as a communications officer for the government, and there's an article about government secrets being leaked through the Ministry of Justice or whatever, to the government, and we have the music box disc, which plays a sound that's pretty similar to, like, I don't know, telegram noises. I'm not sure what the official term is. So I feel like those things are probably connected in some way. I'm just gonna throw it out. I feel good about this, but let's see. I don't know if this is the right piece, but let's see. Today's paper, Counsel. The headline is Pawnbroker Parishes and Pick Post Plunder. Hardly supportive of your cause. No, my lord. I was hoping you'd look a little further down the page. Further down, Ministry of Mole. Classified secrets may have been leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice. Yes, this is a very serious matter, being investigated at the highest level, I understand. Oh yeah, and it would also coincide with fucking Gregson being all weird and suspicious, apparently. I have heard that international transmissions along supposedly secure lines are somehow being intercepted and leaked to various other countries. And, presumably, those transmissions are in the form of wired telegrams. Of course. Juror number 5, your input, please. Stop! Oh, me, sir? Whatever is the matter? You told the code before that you worked at the same communication station as Mr. Graydon, do you not? Yes, that's correct. And the particular station where you work deals with government communications and newspaper reports. Oh, yes! Well, we're not your run-of-the-mill communication station at all. Our work is extremely important. Then tell me, is this not a very familiar sound? Yeah, see, it's similar to that noise, whatever you call it. You don't want me to say, is it? That's right, madam. It bears more than a passing resemblance to the sound made by your telegraph machine as you tap it. I believe it's called, Morse code. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for this whole time. But I'm a big dummy. I don't believe it! Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but when it comes to leaking telegrams from government departments, that's a pretty big deal. And also, yeah, there can be nobody more perfectly placed than a highly skilled communications officer. Are you suggesting that the music box disc contains stolen government secrets in Morse code? Yeah. Man, fucking Van Sykes has some broad shoulders. Order! Order! Please, everyone, order! But this is high treason, Council, deserving of capital punishment. Too much new vocabulary. What is this treason? And what is capital punishment? Sorts of words I half expect you to know. For our sovereign government's confidential information, hostile nations would surely pay almost any price. Yeah, that's like pretty big deal shit, bro. You can't government secrets and stuff to other countries. That's like, well, like they said, it's high treason, my dude. Yes, and on that night 2 months ago, that was the very negotiation that was taking place inside the omnibus. But in the end, McGill had perished, and the all-important disc lay unclaimed in the pawnbrokery. My word! Bah bah bah! In which case, whoever stole that information in the first place must surely have been beside himself with worry. Because if the disc were to be discovered before it found its way out of the country, it would reveal an act of high treason, punishable by death. So the culprit had no choice but to retrieve it, and in order to do that, he would have to gain entry to the pawnbrokery illegally in the middle of the night. Wait, what? Because the article left behind by Mr. McGilded would incriminate him too much if it got into the wrong hands. What do you know? Because, like, as far as everyone knew, it was just a small box, right? Like, because I feel like because Graydon said before that if he wanted to, he could have just waited to purchase it after it had been forfeited. Was there a reason why he had to get it that day, in particular? Isn't that right, Mr. Graydon? You think I've been stealing government secrets? Preposterous! Absolutely preposterous! So, in response to the defense's accusation, you claim complete innocence, do you? Well, of course I do. I've had to stand here in silence while that pretentious foreign lawyer has been prattling away.
Objection!
Then by all means, counter the charges, sir. The prosecution demands the witness testifies in response to the accusations brought by the defense. Delighted, I'm sure. The witness is reminded that the crime under scrutiny in this trial is a murder of the pawnbroker, Mr. Wonderbank. That being a most litigious offense for which the law of this land sanctions a capital punishment. But the heinous act of high treason is no less serious a crime. I urge you to bear that in mind as you testify, Mr. Graydon. So then, let us proceed. You may hold it. Who? Hey, what are you guys doing here? Bro, what the fuck? You guys are still here? What the fuck, man? I mean, I like you guys, but come on. You can't let us have a rhyming pork here, Governor. We got things to say. I beg your pardon. Who do you think you are? Name's Nash Skulkin. Occupation is, professional baddie. Name's Ringo Skulkin, but we ain't baddies enough to settle in our motherland. That's right. We're what they call, the Three Skulkin Brothers. Jeez. Bad timing, fellas. Very bad timing. Okay. Jesus. Okay, those guys are silly. A mere communications officer couldn't possibly steal confidential government information. Besides, the sounds produced by that music box aren't even Morse code. It was some low-class brickmaker negotiating with McGilded anyway, was it not? I've no relation to the man. Look, all we done is break into the gap the other night, like what he told us to do. If we'd known there was dodgy government secrets involved, we wouldn't have touched it. Oh, yeah, I guess. Mr. Skulkin? What Mr. will do, Governor? What's up? Do I take it that you now admit to the crime? That on the night in question, you did indeed gain entry to the premises illegally? And, moreover, you did so as a party of 3, in collaboration with Mr. Graydon here. We did, Gub! We did! Alright then. Quieten down, please. What say you to that, Mr. Graydon? I have no idea what these 2 ruffians are referring to. You little rotter! Getting us all mixed up in all this monkey business. You never said enough about no government secrets. It was supposed to be a straight-up job. And what about the geezer whose shop it was, eh? That poor old bloke didn't have to die, did he? Nice to know who your friends are. Whatever these men say, I denied the accusations. Indeed. Well, I once certainly wasn't expecting this little music box to become so significant in the proceedings. However, as it has, I will now admit it into the court record as evidence. Well, the small music box has been entered into the court record. Okay, well, that was sort of a trip and a half. But I would say that's probably a good place to leave off for now, don't you? We got a new testimony, proper. We figured out some, well, some pretty big revelations. You know, we made good progress. So I think leaving off here will be a smart decision. Next time, we will delve into Graydon's counter-testimony and, whatever those fucking Skulkin bros have to say. Jeez. But until then, I'll see you around.